episode 21.
21, 21, 21.
21. We're here. We are here.
Mm.
Welcome back. Purple Rain Podcast. I'm Simply. That's Sutton. I'm Alex. That's Izzy. If you didn't know, just you can call us many names. You can call us your friendly neighborhood Ravens fans too. But we're back. We're back.
Absolutely.
Oh, how you doing? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing all right, man. I'm hanging in there, you know. Super Bowl's coming up. There's been a lot of good Ravens news. It's subjectively good Ravens news. We'll talk about all that stuff, but I see the Rain Gang is in full effect tonight. We got some guys, checking in. They checking in slowly but surely. Devon Saunders, he says, "Hey, we in here. What's good, man?" He's always in here, man. Shout out to you. Just loyal viewers of the show. Michael, the Hawks fan. Nicholas Branch. Ryan, let's see. John James. What up, John James? Always coming through supporting. Yes, sir. Zeke Phillips, he says, "Hey, Rain Gang, I'm in Maryland now. I just moved from Tampa. Pretty sad, but exciting too." Well, congrats on the move. And welcome to Maryland. Yeah, absolutely.
Get yourself some seafood while you're here.
Get yourself some seafood for sure. We're definitely known for that. I know you're coming from Tampa. They might have some pretty decent seafood down there as well. Might have to ask Lamar Jackson about that, see how the Florida seafood is. But we've got some good stuff in Maryland.
Throw some Old Bay on that. You'll be good.
Yeah. Dr. Didi, what's up, man? Maxwell Jones. Self-Reg says, "Make it rain." I like that. I like that.
I like
Making it rain. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So if you guys are still checking in, just let us know that you're in here. We love to see you guys. We love to, chop it up with you guys. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight. And if you're new here, maybe like the video, maybe subscribe to the channel, maybe follow us on Instagram,
Maybe.
All those things are a maybe. If you want to, we're not here to twist anybody's arm or anything like that. If you enjoy the content, give us a follow. Right, Alex?
If they want to, let's tell them where they can find us. So you can find my guy Sutton, Twitter and Instagram at Sutton Def. It doesn't get much easier. Super simple. You can copy and paste it. You can follow him.
Yeah.
For me, a little complicated. Twitter at @AlexSoberman_ and my IG at simplyas10.prod. So thank you. And if you want to follow the Purple Rain Podcast on Instagram, you can too. Right above my guy Sutton's head. You can always drop a follow there too.
Absolutely. So what is today? What's today? The date is the 28th of January. It's almost February, which means that the NFL season is unfortunately almost over for the season.
Bittersweet February.
Bittersweet.
My birthday week, my birthday month. So,
how old you turning? Care to share?
It's gonna be my Jimmy Smith year, 22.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, that's a really good year. 22 is a really good year. Jimmy Smith year. That's dope, bro. Yeah. That is dope.
Next
and we
week.
Definitely got to celebrate. We got to celebrate on the show.
Yeah, we're going to. Can't wait.
Yeah. Make sure you guys come through for that. But this is the Purple Rain Podcast, like he was saying. First, I want to kick off the podcast with just something dope, something cool that happened to our guy, Alex, yesterday, I believe it was, right?
It did happen yesterday.
Our guy, Alex Silverman, he's just, I don't know what it is. He just be out and about and he just be meeting people. And I'm going to just let him tell the story, though. You take over, man.
All right. So I had to go get a birthday card for my grandmother, happy belated birthday to her. So I'm like, okay, let me go to my local Wegmans, get herself a nice birthday card. So I go in there. I go to get it, me and my dad, and we're walking out. I see a guy walking with a limp. I'm like, that's Nick Boyle. He just tore his ACL. So I'm like, listen, I got to go back in there. I got to talk to him, tell him who I am, how I made a video on him. So I turn around and, I kind of went stalker him. I was like, yo, where's he at? I had to grab like a vitamin water to act like I actually got something. Because you don't want, had to have something in my hand. I found him. I was like, hey, bro, how's the recovery going? It's the first thing you got to ask. And, he's walking with a limp, but he told me he's in there every day, every week, trying to get better, trying to get back to 100%. So That's definitely good to hear. He looks good too. I mean, the fact he's walking after such a terrible injury this early is great for us. So, how to get the pick. And there it is. Showed him the videos. He loves the videos. Actually followed me back on Instagram. So hopefully I can Nick Boyle on the podcast one day. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, would you guys want to see that? Let us know.
Yeah.
I mean,
let us know.
Super cool guy, tight end, can't hate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys see the picture right there, man. Y'all see my boy. Y'all see my boy Alex out there with Nick Boyle, man. Just Nick Boyle. This is Nick
Just
Boyle. This is not just anybody, bro. This is Nick Boyle out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's meeting important players, impactful players on our roster. Devon Johnson says the Mahomes and Nick Boyle comment was hilarious.
yeah, somebody said Mahomes. I'm like, really? Come on
Yeah.
now.
Let's see. Yes, sir. Facts. CJ says, have Lamar on the podcast. Hey, man, maybe one day.
Hey, why not? Maybe one day, but
That would be tough. That
that'd
would be
be
very
dope.
tough if he came on here. Absolutely,
That'd be
Brett.
dope.
For sure, for sure. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. You know, I saw that randomly on Twitter, on your Twitter yesterday, and I was like, whoa, he really met Nick Boyle. That's dope. But you've met other Ravens players too, or at least seen them like out and about, right?
Yeah, so at my old job, it was 2017. I think that was my senior year in high school. Ronnie Stanley came in, Matt Judon. I'm about to throw it back with some of these names. Bronson Calfusi, Chris Moore, Camille Correa, Alex Lewis, and DeAndre Wesley all came in to play some laser tag. And I was like, hey, bro, can I get a picture? And this is Ronnie Stanley's like rookie year. I was like talking to him about soccer. That was like super cool. Then I just went to like signings too. I met a couple of players there, but Ravens players are always cool as hell. Like we have the best organization. It's top notch.
Yeah, second to none. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. So the Rain Gang, make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat tonight. Tonight's going to be a big questions and questions answered night. So to make sure you guys are putting in your questions, comments, and concerns. What are you about to say though, bro?
And don't forget, we have some big news to talk about that came out today. Deshaun Watson officially requesting that trade.
Yep.
You know, we'll talk about where we think he'll land, what it would take to actually acquire him. A lot to talk about.
Our guy Void says he met Darren Waller before. It was a football camp with him. Yeah, LT and Hilton Alexander. Wow,
you met LT. That's
pretty cool.
LT that's some legendary stuff. I'm happy for Waller though. That man is balling out.
Yeah, he's having his career is definitely flourishing right now.
Yeah.
But kind of the elephant in the room is the whole David Culley situation, right? So with the Ravens, we just we didn't get rid of him. He got a job. It's excellent for both parties, really, if you ask Alex and I. He got a head coaching job, his first head coaching job. He's 65 years old. He actually becomes the oldest, like, just starting head coach in the NFL. So I'm not exactly sure how long he'll coach. I think that kind of the general consensus is that his career might come to an end sooner than later. Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, they signed him to a 5-year deal. Actually, real quick, I actually kind of met David Culley this past summer at a snowball stand in Maryland. It was in Owings Mills. I was there with Boz, one of the moderators here, and I was like, "That's our coach." It's where I used to live is like it's right near the training camp, so you see a lot of the guys around there. But I mean, congrats to David Culley. I mean, he got ahead finally. He's been in the coaching for 4 years.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's good for both parties, and it's not often you see a fan base like ours like happy to let one of our coaches go. But we'll get into why we feel that way.
Yeah. And like we said, it's good for both parties. Like, definitely congratulations to David Culley for getting that head coaching job. That's amazing. You know, and Culley, like Devon Johnson says, Culley's a great person, and we've seen him. You can see him throughout even the Ravens Wired in the past 2 years. He just came on board with us last year. He's been doing this for like 27 years, guys. Like an assistant head coach in that role, but he's been with us for the past 2 years. So the 2019 Lamar MVP season and this past season as well. And you can just see the energy that he brings to, the players and just how much of a player's coach that he is. So, he definitely did a lot for us in terms of like, he was like the Mark Ingram of coaching almost.
That's a great analogy. I mean, if you watch The Wired, I mean, the one that comes to my mind, I think it was like last year against the Patriots. I think that one, he was kind of just telling him like it's 0-0, like, and so he definitely, he was the Mark Ingram of the coaches. Right. And I think out of all the coaches, he got the most airtime on The Wired. Not Harbaugh, not Wink. It was him. Yeah,
because he was very vocal coach. You know what I mean? He would always be talking to Lamar. He'd be talking to this player, that player. And, in 2019 at the time, I actually was not aware that he was our, wide receiver / assistant head coach / passing game coordinator. But now that I know, it all kind of makes sense. This guy was like, he was very good for us in terms of like
Mhm.
that motivational role. Like that's why I say he's the Mark Ingram of the coaching staff, because
Yeah.
we saw what he did on the sidelines, but it didn't always translate to on the field. And if he's the passing game coordinator, you would want our passing game to at least be sufficient, not dead last in the
Yeah.
league. So, just in my personal opinion, am I mad at us, getting rid of him? No. Am I happy for him? Yes. I think that this is step one. And I think last week on the podcast, I said that like a guy like Allen Robinson or bringing in like a top wide receiver, that's not necessarily going to fix our problems unless we change our scheme.
Yep.
So that's why I think I'm actually very satisfied with this, basically moving on from David Culley and getting somebody in. But what's your kind of general thoughts about it? And the Rain Gang, I want to get you guys' opinions on it as well. Make sure you throw your comments, questions down there too, because we're going to be getting into those as well.
You brought up a great point. So talking about the whole like the Texans, it's like why do they hire him when guys like Jim Caldwell are out there, Eric Bieniemy's out there,
Yeah.
Leslie Frazier they interviewed, and let me just pull up a quote from one of the guys who kind of knows what's going on in the Texans front office. They picked him because I think they believe, where is it at? He can take control of the locker room. He can bring some positivity in there. It's because let's be real, the Texans aren't a Super Bowl contender like they were 2 years ago. They are nowhere near it. So they need some fresh energy in there, and he'll bring it. They're not saying he's going to make them the next dynasty, but what he can do is get them some wins. And I feel bad for him because that's the hardest. That was the worst head coaching position out there. You don't have a first round pick this year or next year, I believe.
Yeah.
Your vice president is an absolute whack job, to leave it nicely. And the owner is even worse of a person. So, I'm wishing him the best of luck. But hopefully he does good things over there, and hopefully we see the Texans kind of be back to where they were.
Yeah. So let's see here. We have a couple of questions in here right now. I kind of want to address the questions and comments about David Culley first before we get into a couple of other things. I see some questions in here about draft picks and trading certain players, things like that. But I think that I don't necessarily know who will replace him with as our passing game coordinator. Michael, the Hawks fan, asked the question about that. I'm not sure who will replace him with. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I have all the confidence in the world that our guys in our front office will be able to get somebody at least competent in, because when you're bringing somebody new in, there's no loyalties, there's none of that bull crap or anything like that where you feel like this guy's been here for X amount of time, so we're going to keep giving him chance after chance after chance. No, we're bringing in somebody new who we need to be looking at them under a very thick microscope. You know what I'm saying? A thick lens, and say like, okay, can this person, can this assistant head coach, can this passing game coordinator, can this wide receiver head coach help our team? And more importantly, can they build a system around or a game plan around Lamar Jackson? Because Lamar Jackson is not just any old quarterback. You know what I mean? You need somebody who's going to be able to cater to his strengths.
Yep. So I think somebody who I think I would like us to bring in is a Doug Peterson. And I say this because I remember in 2018, I believe that was Greg Roman. Yes, that was Marty Morningwig's final year here. We brought in Greg Roman as our run game coordinator, and then we had Marty Morningwig still offensive coordinator. And that was the writing on the wall. Like if Morningwig didn't turn around the ship, Roman was taking over. And I think we can see this too. Maybe if Roman doesn't keep it going, Peterson could take it over if we were to hire him. I mean, I think him getting fired or them letting him go from Philly just didn't sit right with me. I think he's still a good coach, but if he'll want to take like that type of position, I don't know if he would, but I would like to get him because he can definitely draw up some. We saw it. He can draw up some passing plays in Philly, so that's what I would like. And I have to do some research on other guys who are out there. Do you have anybody in mind?
In mind, off the top of my head, it's like, no, I think Peterson's a very good one. I'd have to look over and see all of who's available right now.
Yeah.
And kind of, because I really want to dive deeper and look into like each of these like coaches' backgrounds. I really want somebody who is experienced not only working with a team like ours, but just working with, like I said, a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. Like, do they have experience like working with quarterbacks who are mobile? You know what I mean? Like quarterbacks who necessarily like their bread and butter passing the ball is inside the numbers, or at least a little bit outside of the numbers, you know. So now that we have a new passing, we have an opportunity to get a new passing game coordinator. I feel like it opens up the opportunity for getting that number one wide receiver and making that something that'll actually be of use to us. So yeah. Let's see real quick here. Our guy Sis, he says, what's your opinion on actually trading Orlando Brown for a late first rounder versus letting him walk and just taking a third round comp pick?
If Laramie Tunsil is worth 2 first round picks, Orlando Brown's worth 3. But I get he's on like his final year. But
Yeah.
I'd expect a good amount of compensation if we were to trade him, and I wouldn't be against. We've talked about this before. You can't keep everybody.
Right.
So I wouldn't be against trading him. I would understand it would hurt me, but I'd 100% get it.
So you'd keep Orlando Brown over keeping Mark Andrews? I mean, or vice versa? Mark Andrews over Orlando Brown?
No, I believe the offensive line is the most important part of this offense.
So you'd rather move off of Mark Andrews and keep Orlando Brown? Okay.
Unfortunately.
I wonder if the Rain Gang agrees with that. Do you guys agree with that?
And here's why I say that. If we didn't see Orlando Brown go from right tackle to left tackle and still play at a Pro Bowl caliber, that's what I think did it for me. Because if something were to happen, he can play in either of those positions, and he did a damn good job at it. So I think it's the versatility.
Yeah, that makes his value even higher.
And that's why I don't think we'll keep him. I think it's going to go up even more because left tackles get paid most. I mean, Stanley's making $98 million. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Ryan says keep Zeus over Andrews. And then Asmodeus agrees actually as well. He says, I agree. Andrews chokes. Man. And you hate to see it, like Andrews, we'd be talking about Mark Andrews in a totally different light if sometimes he wasn't the reason why we can't get back into games. You know what I mean?
Get over the hump like we talked about.
Get over the hump. Exactly. Mark Andrews, I feel like he'll eventually get there, as he gets more and more experience under his belt. I feel like he'll become that, tried and true, tested tight end who's just going to be durable. He's going to go up and make those tough catches for us when we need him to, which is why I would probably want to keep Mark Andrews since that is Lamar's favorite target. Yeah. If we move off of Zeus, we get rid of him and we get 1 or 2 picks in this upcoming draft, say 1 in the first and maybe 1 second, or maybe even if it is 2 first, like Laramie Tunsil. I feel like we could do damage with those 2 picks. First of all, we can redraft. Yeah, exactly. We can redraft the right tackle, and then also what we can do, we can go out and still get we can still get a cornerback or somebody else that we need for our, in our positions of needs. And I think O-line and, cornerback depth and of course wide receiver are probably our top needs right now. But yeah, I wouldn't mind moving off of Zeus and keeping Andrews.
So the money wise, I mean, I know we want to re-sign Zeus, but that's a big thing. Like obviously I want to keep Zeus over Andrews, but if the money isn't right, if the money is too much that would make our cap so small in the future, then I would pick Andrews over him. Yeah. I mean, it's just the cap too, because free agency, we hit on guys that, like the Jihad Wards, the low key signings, or the LJ Forts, hit on them, or we hit on what was his? Oh gosh, I just blanked out on who it was. It'll come. Derek Wolf. I'm sorry. We hit on that. Yeah. That wasn't a big name signing in the free agency, but it was a signing that proved more crucial than other ones we've seen. So I think I would agree with you that if I would take Andrews just money wise, but I don't even know what he would want, what range he's looking at, because he's not Kelsey level, he's not Kittle level. Not. So you got to look at what is somebody like say Tunyon makes or what Waller makes. I think Waller makes like $9 million a year, which is a bargain. So around that area, I think is perfect for him.
Yeah, honestly, because I mean he's been good for us in the regular season. But just when we really need him the most, even in like some of our bigger regular season games, he just doesn't really show up like we need him to. And we even saw like flashes of that in the beginning of the Titans game in the playoffs when he dropped that third down. Even though, I mean, I think it was Kevin Byard who was covering him.
He's always really a thorn in our side.
He is bro. I don't know what it is about Kevin Byard, but he is so annoying, bro. just like going up against him because I know he's just all over the field.
It's
That's
every time
another,
we play them. I think
every time, bro.
when we were there like 2017 or 16 when Flacco was our quarterback, he had like 2 picks against him that game. He's been doing it for years against us.
Yeah, man. Honestly. I see some wide receiver talk in the chat right now. We'll get to that in a second. Let's just touch back on the whole David Culley situation just one last time.
Okay.
David Culley, him leaving, how soon do you think we can get somebody new in? Do you think that they'll take their time? Like this will be a long, drawn-out process, or is this something that kind of comes to a head quickly and we have our guy within the next maybe month or so?
You know what I'm going to say? You wait till after the Super Bowl. I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here, but just listen.
Go ahead.
Why is it the team that has made it to the Super Bowl back-to-back years, made it to the AFC Championship 3 straight years, hasn't lost one coach? Do we not see an issue? And why is it the Ravens have lost 4 or 5 coaches this year and have another one in Zach Orr being interviewed for the linebackers coach in Jacksonville? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, why isn't the best team losing any coaches? Now, that being said, let's take one of Kansas City's coaches because I know they must be doing something right. Their wide receiving game works. I don't know who we could take from them. But time frame, I say before free agency starts for sure.
Okay. You know what's interesting about that you bring that up? You say, like, why do, like, the Chiefs, for example, they never lose any of their coaches? And, of course, the big one comes to mind, Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
And he has not – there hasn't been any serious talks about him going to a team to be head coach or anything like that, and which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I don't know if he's just really, really holding out until after the Super Bowl or, like – if he's not interviewing that well, if he's not a good interview, because that's one thing about David Culley that I've heard, that he's a great interview. He
brings an energy, and we've seen it. Compared to Bieniemy, you rarely hear from him.
Right. So I don't know if like that would be the case. Like maybe Bieniemy just doesn't interview very well, or maybe he's doing it on purpose so he doesn't get hired, and maybe the Chiefs are paying him under the table to stay.
Hey, I mean, it's hard. It's kind of like if you're going to say the Chiefs are like the holy grail right now. You got everybody around you.
Dynasty.
Go to a team like the Texans. You got Randall Cobb, Brandon Cooks, Kiki Kuti. Right. I mean, it's when you go from Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, McCole Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Le'Veon Bell, that's a big drop off. And maybe Bieniemy doesn't want to go to a different team because maybe he's scared he'll be exposed. That could be something else.
You think he's getting carried by Mahomes?
I'm not saying that, but maybe he's thinking that. But the team he could have definitely done good with is, like you said, the Chargers. They have the firepower. So I don't know. It's just kind of annoying how we've lost all these coaches, and then the best team in the league by far hasn't lost one coach.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see here. Adit Mahmoud, he says, Kansas City quarterback coach Mike Kafka for the passing game coordinator. Bieniemy probably doesn't have a job because Mahomes and Reed get more credit. That has to be the only reason. Man, I don't know about that though.
Take their QB coach. He can be our assistant coach, our wide receiver coach, and our pass game coordinator. That's a promotion.
Hey, yeah, honestly. But let's see. Let me see if we have any more questions here. Taquan Christian says, "My guys, keep it up. Love the channel. Appreciate that."
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Did you know David Culley is a part of the Andy Reid tree, coaching tree?
Yes. He worked with Andy Reid for like 18 years. Yeah.
And what's crazy is that he worked in Kansas City, I think it was 13 or 15, when none of their receivers had a reception, like a receiving touchdown. So there was kind of red flags there from the beginning, Ravens, but
yeah. And then he was there with the Bills in Josh Allen's rookie season as well, when Josh Allen really was not playing well, like at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a rookie, but it is what it is. So hopefully this time our front office can get somebody in who works well for our offense. Sam Reed says, "Hello, Alex. Hello, Sutton. Hello, Sam.
How are you?"
Yeah. Let's see. So, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on from the whole David Culley thing. The title of this video actually starts with Lamar is not a top 8 quarterback.
What? I
Really?
didn't say that. You
I
didn't
didn't
say
say that.
that.
Definitely not.
The Rain Gang didn't say that. Who
Definitely not
said
them
it?
either.
Was it
Well,
the mainstream media?
yeah, you know it. You
Of
know
course it
it.
was.
You know it, man. You know, as the mainstream media, they always got something to say about us, about Lamar, about this and about that. I see you guys kind of putting more hot takes and stuff in the chat right now. Save those for a little bit later. We're gonna get to those as well. Um, but yeah,
They love to hate
Max
us.
Kellerman. Yeah, Max
Oh,
Kellerman is the one. It was him.
Jackson Howard, spot
Yeah.
on.
Yep. Yep. So what we're gonna do for those of you guys who have not seen the clip of Max Kellerman talking about who he would take over Lamar Jackson, we're gonna play that for you guys. Most of the names on the list, it's kind of like, okay, it's reasonable, I guess. You know, if you want to take him over Lamar, I get it. But there's a couple on there where it kind of raised some eyebrows, and you're like, wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute.
What?
Let's take a look at what he's done versus what they've done. You know what I mean? In its totality. And then we can have a conversation. So like I said, guys, I'm going to show you guys this clip from Max Kellerman where he's speaking on First Take. It was funny to me. And we'll be able to, let's just go ahead and watch this when I pull it up for you guys here. Bam. All right. So we're going to watch about a minute and a half maybe. And then me and Alex will react to it.
Deshaun Watson is amazing. I would take him over Lamar Jackson. Russell Wilson, still, I'd take over Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen and Lamar just went head-to-head. Lamar's got a great defense. Allen's got more weapons. Allen wins, and he does it in more of a traditional style that we know works. Lamar is trying to prove that what he can do works. It may work, and maybe he needs more help, but we need to see him prove it. And finally, here's the controversial one, I imagine, Justin Herbert. Guys, Justin Herbert is 22 years old. He just played for a coach that was so bad that the coach no longer has his job. They had the handcuffs on him all year. He does have weapons. Herbert has weapons that Lamar doesn't have, no doubt about it. But Justin Herbert, not just the eye test where his talent pops off the screen, with the handcuffs on, right? They didn't really let him do his thing. As a 22-year-old, just threw 31 touchdowns against 10 interceptions. So the 67% completion. So the numbers are there. And then when you just watch him throw that ball, Herbert, if I was starting a franchise, like if Trevor Lawrence turns out to be everything we think he is, he as a rookie will look as good as Justin Herbert. Herbert's already what people are hoping Trevor Lawrence is going to be. And when I look at Stephen A., you have compared him to who? Dan Marino. I've heard guys on our network compare him to Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he's quite Marino or Mahomes, but it is instructive that those are the names we're using. Those are the 7 guys I would take before Lamar.
So real quick, Max Kellerman, this is the same guy who said, open shot, fate of the universe on the line, or the Martians have the death beam pointing at the earth and you better hit it. I want Iguodala. That is one of my favorite lines and ever. I just love it. The way he was just saying, I want Iguodala. At this point, I just think he tries to get just sound bites, kind of like Stephen A. Smith. Just wants to get him just go viral on Twitter. What?
Yeah.
What? Can you imagine if Lamar went 4-12 like Deshaun Watson did? Can you imagine what he would? Come on. He'd be labeled a bust.
Oh yeah, easily would be labeled a bust, man. And this Max Kellerman take, this one really disappointed me, because Max Kellerman has always been one on First Take. Normally he stands up for Lamar, you know, but Max is one of those guys who, like, the recency bias really takes a hold of him. You know, he takes what he saw most recently, and he makes his take off of that, which is, you know, I get it. That's how it should go if you're a sports analyst. But to take a Justin Herbert, a quarterback with only 6 wins under his belt, professional wins, and Lamar has how many wins? Definitely too many to count on our hands, that's for sure.
30-7 as a starting quarterback.
Right. So
30-7.
30 plus wins. I don't even know if I have to say anymore. Devon Johnson says it right here. They know better, Sutton. It's just for the sound bites. I get it, but it's like, nah. Come on, bro.
It
Justin
gets the
Herbert?
clicks. Are you that thirsty for some views, ESPN?
Come on.
Because it's between you guys, the Fox, and then Good Morning Football. And I'm honest, Good Morning Football has both them beat by miles. Miles. I will only watch Good Morning Football because they don't say outrageous stuff like that to get clicks.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The Trib one says Herbert's a dog, though. He's a monster. Herbert's really good. I really like him. But come on, you cannot compare what he's done next to what Lamar Jackson has done. He has 6 wins. Lamar has a league MVP. Come on, man. Like Lamar has a playoff win in 3 playoff appearances. Justin Herbert has none. And I get Justin Herbert, he had Anthony Lynn at coach, but come on, look at what Justin Herbert even has on his offense, bro. He's got a Keenan Allen. He's got a Mike Williams. He's got a Hunter Henry. He's got an Austin Eckler. You know what I mean? Like, he's got weapons on that team. Give Lamar Jackson a Keenan Allen. Give him a Keenan Allen. We might be previewing the Super Bowl with the Ravens in it right now.
Hell, give him a Mike Williams. Hell, give him a competent offensive coordinator while we're at it too, and then we'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see. And this is, like we said, this is no shot towards Herbert. I think he is an absolute baller. Yeah. I mean, the way he came in and just took over, he gave the LA Chargers some hope. That is what they needed. They needed that poster boy on the offense. They didn't have it. Phillip Rivers gone. But really, to put him above, and we were talking before the stream, because if we're going off the year ones, we both agree Baker Mayfield looked better than Lamar Jackson year 1.
Yeah.
Now we're year 3, year 4. Really?
Right.
Come on. You can't make just such idiotic statements and call yourself an analyst, because it's a spit in the face of the people who have worked their asses off to get to that position.
Right. And my biggest thing about Max Kellerman specifically saying it is this. He said that he would take Justin Herbert over Lamar Jackson, but based on what? Based on efficiency? Hell no. Based on accuracy? Wait a minute. Max Kellerman was the main one who would always bring up in every take about Lamar how Lamar was the most accurate quarterback statistically in his rookie season. And then, even still in his second season as well, he played really well and he was accurate with the football, throwing the football as well. So now, just out of nowhere, we have Max Kellerman going back on all of that. Going back on all the accuracy takes, how efficient he is, how much he wins football games, and you're taking Justin Herbert. And I get it, guys. I get it. Why do we pay attention to this stuff? It's just for clicks. They just gossip. We get it, Mr. Rose. Mr. Rose, we get it. Why even pay attention to them? Well, they're on TV, and they happen to be on ESPN. And I watch a lot of ESPN. And, I get offended as a diehard Ravens fan, as, my guy Alex is, as a lot of you guys watching are. I don't like these analysts talking bad about our team and about our players when they really don't even know the half of it.
I've lost credibility when, I think it was last year. They're like, oh, the Ravens aren't going to be this because they lost Weddle. Really? What did he do for our defense in 2018? And what did he do for the Rams last year? It's like they don't watch our team to know who truly makes the impact on our team. That's why I stopped listening to that, because it's just bogus. You guys know it for clicks. And I've seen guys say, oh, well, we've seen is capable of a number 1 receiver. Really?
Yeah.
Let's look at other teams' number 1s and let's look at our receivers. And this is no shot towards Willie Snead, but it's just they just talk out of their behinds most of the time. So we had to bring that up.
Do you want to pull up? Wait, I want to pull up that list again. That he had with the quarterbacks, and we can talk about their receiving cores compared to ours if you want to do that.
Let me find the picture. I'll DM it to you on Twitter real quick.
Yeah. DM me that picture real quick so we can pull that up for you guys, because that's another big thing too. You're putting all these quarterbacks above Lamar, but Lamar doesn't even have the weapons that most of these quarterbacks have. Hey, just saying.
Saying. So DM the video that has the guys that he listed ahead of him.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm gonna pull that up here.
Yeah, so this is going to be a fun topic. Just looking at who he had ahead of him, we're going to have fun.
Absolutely. So you guys can see it up here. Of course, he has Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, and last but certainly least, Justin Herbert. Let's see. So let's just start from the top here, right? Patrick Mahomes, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. They've got not Patrick Mahomes. They've got Tyreek Hill. They've got Travis Kelce. They've got Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman,
Demarcus Robinson. I mean, they have one of the best offensive gurus in the league. Maybe we get it. we get.
And at number 2, who was Brady playing with down in Tampa? Who's he throwing to?
Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Scotty Miller. Hell, Johnson. He was making catches that I didn't see our players make. So you can put him.
I'm not even going to count Scotty Miller just for the sake of argument.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Given the benefit of the
what?
doubt, I'm not even going to count Scotty Miller right now.
All right. Rob Gronkowski, Cameron Brady. Hell, he had O.J. Howard before he tore his Achilles or ACL this year.
He did.
I mean, that was the best tight end trio I think we've seen since we saw our tight end trio. But okay. Aaron Rodgers as Stephen A. Smith, the bad man. Who does he have to throw to?
So he's got a guy going by the name of Devontae Adams, who just happens to be top 2 and not 2 receivers in the league. So yeah, I mean, I think that just says enough for itself right there. On top of that, he's got an emerging tight end in Robert Tonyan. He's also got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who had a pretty good touchdown catch against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past week, if I remember correctly.
Who else?
Yeah. He's also got Alan Lazard as well.
Yep. Oh,
Am I
don't
missing
forget
anybody?
You got Aaron Jones, who can catch out the backfield as well.
Yeah, all-star running back. Absolutely. For sure.
Okay. Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Deshaun.
This one is weird for me because I do put him above Lamar because I'm not going to compare when they played each other because Lamar's 2-0 against them, blew him out 41-7, but that the same way I'm not going to compare the Mahomes and the Lamar because they don't play defense.
Right.
I will agree with Deshaun's above Lamar because what Deshaun Watson did with Bill O'Brien and with that depleted core around him, he did his best to keep them in the games, and he put up stats.
Right.
So I will agree with that. I mean, that one, would you put Deshaun above Lamar?
Yeah, I mean, I would put Deshaun Watson above Lamar, honestly, just because of like the playmaking ability, and then also just his overall consistency, and you can see how much he has balled out with nothing.
Yeah.
And that's just something that you can't say no to that. Peyton Elizabeth, she does say no to that. She says she would not put Watson above Lamar personally. That's interesting.
See, I also think Will Fuller was suspended end of the year. I mean, he lost his guys, and he was still just maybe there was garbage time numbers, and I think the past 2 years or 3 years, who's ever led the league in passing yards hasn't even made the playoffs. I think it was Winston a couple years ago. Dak, I think Dak was leading it before he got hurt this year. Then, Watson ran away with it. Yeah. All right, number 5, Russell Wilson. Who does he have? Who does he have?
Russell Wilson, our guy, let Russ cook. He's got Tyler Lockett. He's got DK Metcalf. And honestly, outside of that, I don't really know a bunch of other weapons that he has. But
I think David Moore is pretty damn good. David Moore, he's a great complimentary receiver to Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf.
People are saying Russell Wilson is overrated.
I'm not going to go overrated, but every year he puts a good 6 to 7 games, gets in the MVP talk, and then just dips off. It happened last year too when we played them, and when Lamar beat him, Russ just fell off until the playoffs.
That's weird. That's really weird because Russell Wilson, he's one of those players where he's Hall of Fame. He's Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's going to the Hall of Fame for sure. But he does have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And let's just talk about those two guys for a second. Tyler Lockett, starting with him, what's his build? Do you know Tyler Lockett's build? Like how tall he is?
He's built, in my opinion. He deserves more credit.
Say it one more time. We lost you.
He is the most underrated receiver, I believe, in the league.
Yeah.
His build, though, I got you. I'm just at that game against the Cardinals when he had the 3 touchdowns. The catches he was making, not fair.
Insane. Those are great throws by Russell Wilson too. I will give him that. But
it's 5'10".
5'10", runs
and his weight 182 pounds.
5'10", 182. So yeah, he's honestly about my size, honestly. But he is an incredible player, right? Throw me in there, but he's an incredible player. He makes incredible catches, and he's fast as all get out, man. You can even you can see him in the game. You can put him in at kick returner or punt returner or something like that, and he can be dangerous. You know what I mean? So he's a multi-threat option. He's very fast, has great hands, and then DK Metcalf. Just a young freak of nature. Just a freak of nature, man. Like, he's huge. What's his build? What's the read on his build? That should be easy to find.
While pulling up his build, just know the Steelers were one pick away from getting DK Metcalf. So let's just be happy he went to the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah.
He's 23 years old. All right? 23. 6'4", 230 pounds.
Wow. Come on, man. And you see the athleticism on the field. I know everybody remembers the Buda Baker interception and how he got walked down by DK Metcalf. So Russell Wilson has a freak of nature on one side of the field. And then on the other side of the field, he's got a speed demon who's got crazy
reliable.
hands. So exactly. Reliable guys. So, Russell Wilson has great weapons as well. Josh Allen. Let's talk about our friend Josh Allen.
Oh, okay. All right. Stephon Diggs didn't get all-pro first team. Cole Beasley didn't get all-pro second team. Oh, yeah. Isaiah McKenzie, John Brown. Gabrielle Davis. Huh. Dawson Knox. Oh, nobody special. Special.
Yeah, man. And then last but least, kind of, in this situation, Justin Herbert. We went over it. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, Austin Eckler. He's got a bunch of weapons. And guys, we're not hating. We say all that to say that, like, if you give Lamar Jackson the same caliber of weapons that you have given these top 7 quarterbacks that you see in this list right now, Lamar Jackson can definitely make some more noise than he already has in the league. I promise he can. I think that now with us getting, for this opportunity to get a new passing game coordinator, a new wide receivers coach, not offensive coordinator, but assistant head coach as well, this opens up the perfect opportunity in order for us to get, that number one wide receiver that we've been needing, whether it's an Allen Robinson, whether it's somebody in the draft that we get. But, we don't really draft receivers all that well. But whoever it is, we just need somebody. Peyton says it the best here. She says, everyone has weapons except Lamar. Sorry, I mean to yell, but seriously, it's not even comparable.
I mean, is she wrong? And like you said, we're not hating. I know that these guys don't have the type of line Lamar has, but I mean, real quick, they graded our line in the game against the Bills. Besides Bozeman and Orlando Brown, everybody else got an F. So it's not like he has Yonda still. It's not like we have Stanley. We don't have the best blocking tight end Nick Boyle either. We were hurt that game, and we saw it all year with Phillips, Fluker. It just wasn't looking good. So, it's the offseason. They need to get their clicks. They need to just get their names out there. We get it. I think it's probably the only time we talk about it because we know how it goes.
Yeah, man. It's definitely frustrating for sure. We have one more comment I want to bring up here. Well, a couple more actually. Talking about Lamar Jackson and Russ Cam Neal says Russ also doesn't get the jitters like Lamar does when his offensive line breaks down. What do you think about Lamar's jitters? Have you seen that? Have you noticed that? Like,
it's a real thing, I believe, because he'll run into his line. I think we saw it against the Bills. He ran into him. Had to scramble out, and J.K. Dobbins dropped a first down. He definitely has the jitters. Then again, Russ has been in the league for many years, so. But then again, this is what Lamar's 4th year going in, so those things can happen. There's coming to a point they can't let him take over the game. That can't happen.
Yeah. So Cam Neal says that. Thank you for the comment, Cam. Peyton responds, she says, Lamar's jitters do confuse me because sometimes he looks nervous, but other times he looks super calm, cool, and collected. I think like he looks more nervous in those times where like we're behind in games, and he feels like himself needing to actually, kind of be Superman and carry the team on his back. That's when like he's dropping back in the pocket and he's like, okay, I got to make something happen. Pocket's breaking down, but I got to make something happen. You know what I mean? He's just that kind of guy.
And he shouldn't feel like that. Like that's what coaches are for.
Right.
Like that's why you hire coaches, because it's not like we're playing street ball. Because you can get them same jitters when you're down and playing with your friends and you want to win. But when it's the real deal, that's why coaches are paid the amount of money. That's why John Gruden got 10 years, $100 million.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. absolutely. Cam Neal also says Lamar's potential is top 3, and it ain't 3. Ryan says the same thing. Shout out the Rain Gang. You guys are all in here tonight. We appreciate you guys. We got about 80 people watching live right now. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you like the video. Also, subscribe if you're new. Absolutely.
Join the Rain Gang.
Yeah. Join the Rain Gang. Follow us on Instagram at The Purple Rain Podcast. All things Rain Gang, all things Ravens. Yes. Darius Simmons, he says, what did I miss? What up, Darius?
What?
Always coming through.
The David Culley, talked about that, and just talking about this bogus take Max Kellerman had. That he wanted Iguodala, and now he wants Lamar as number 8, I guess.
I want Iguodala. I'll never get over that. That is hilarious. Now that I think about it, I got to go watch that clip again. Let's see. Jackson Howard says Lamar Jackson has improved a lot on not fumbling the ball. That's true. That's true, Jackson.
I mean, that first game against the Chargers, that ball came out 2 or 3 times. You know? So he's definitely improved on that compared to a guy like Carson Wentz, who's had those same fumbling issues his whole career and hasn't really improved on it. So shout out to Lamar there. You know, he's definitely improving parts of his game. Yeah,
he definitely has. Our guy Boz. What up, Boz? He says Haskins, top 3 up next. All right.
Come on now. Just because you signed him to the Steelers. Come on now.
Yeah, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that one. Let's see. Keep, putting you guys' questions in the chat, comments, concerns. We're going to be getting to those. Then we're going to get into a couple of other pieces of news as well before we get out of you guys here for the night. Rush. Our guy Rush is in here. Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, let me bring him up here. Rush, our guy Rush. He says, how y'all been? Been great.
How have you been? Yeah. How have you been? That's the question. How have you been?
That is the question. Absolutely. Jonathan Washington Jr., he says, who do you think will sign Mark Ingram? Shout out to Jonathan Washington Jr., by the way.
Okay. I thought about this a little bit. Thought about it. Don't know if he will get suspended, but just hear me out. The Las Vegas Raiders. Final game of the year. Josh Jacobs is leaving. I believe he's had a DUI. Got charged for it. He could be suspended 4 games. I think Mark Ingram could go there. That's always depending if he's suspended. If he's not suspended, I can't see it happening. It's hard because running backs.
Yeah, who needs a running back?
I mean, I don't know.
I saw somebody put in the chat. They think that Mark Ingram could maybe go back to New Orleans.
I agree with that. I mean, I don't think Latavius Murray is under contract anymore. And come on, the Kamara Ingram, when they were together, that was just pure entertainment. I would love to have that back.
Yeah. Let's see. The Trib 1 says people still forgetting where the Ravens were in Lamar's rookie season. How much better is the offense since then? I think that's a pretty good question. How much better is the offense since Lamar's rookie season? How much better is it actually?
A lot better. I remember that year I was so happy because I thought we were turning the page, not just with Lamar, but with Flacco. We got him brand new receivers. We got John Brown. We got Willie Snead. We got Michael Crabtree. We drafted Hayden Hurst. How we drafted Lamar. But I'm like, okay, maybe this might be Flacco's final hoorah. Because that first game we won 47-3 against the Bills. Flacco lights out. He lights out. I was like, okay, then we lost the next game to the Bengals. But it's definitely evolved. I mean, there would be times we just didn't have a running game because Flacco would throw 50 times a game. And now it's weird if we throw 25 times a game. So it's definitely evolved, and the record shows it, 30-7 as a starter for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Our guy Sizz, he says, if you're the GM, do you go through a complete culture change, or do you still believe in the Ravens' style and philosophy? I think that's interesting. I like the Ravens style, the whole play like a Raven thing. I love that. Now, the philosophy when it comes to the offense, I think needs some tweaking. I think that this organization has fooled itself into thinking that they can run their way to a Super Bowl. And Alex, you and I, we've said it time and time again that we won't be able to do that. The Ravens will not be able to run themselves to a Super Bowl without at least a competent enough passing attack. So in that case, I do think that the philosophy of the Ravens front office, it needs some tweaking. I don't know about a complete change, Sis, but I think that, getting in a new passing game coordinator, getting in this new assistant head coach / wide receiver coach / like I said, passing game coordinator, that could be huge for us. That could, come in, and I don't think our culture necessarily needed changing because we know David Culley was a great guy. He was a people's coach. Yeah. But maybe we just need another guy. Maybe it's not the philosophy. Maybe it is the style. Maybe it is the style on offense. Maybe it just needs to look a little bit different in order for us to maximize our potential. But what do you think about that, bro?
I feel like we've been undergoing a culture change, I'd say, for the past 2 years now since Eric DeCosta took over. It's different than when Ozzie. That's how I feel. Just a lot different since when we had Ozzie. I think DeCosta is ruthless. Don't know how I like it with the whole Morgan Cox. Like, it's still not sitting well with me. I get it's a business and all, but the Ravens were a family. Now it just feels like a business. Like, I'm trying to be happy. Like, DeCosta's made some great trades, but he's had some misses along the way.
Yeah.
The Earl Thomas thing. Just to let you guys know, if we didn't sign Earl Thomas, you know who we'd have in our secondary right now? Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because Earl Thomas was on a flight to Kansas City. We called him. They were signing him on a 1-year deal, but instead we dropped a bag on him. Right. And Tyrann Mathieu was still out there. Yeah. So I don't think we're going to go through a complete culture change, but it's going to be minor. It's going to be a mix of the old and the new. But I think the old should still outweigh the new because the old has had more success than the new, and that's just facts.
Okay. I respect that. I got K-Dog. What's up, K-Dog? He says, where is the Rain Gang merch? I'm telling you, it's on the way. It's on the way, man. That'll be coming soon, Rain Gang merch.
Should we tell them what we have planned for the draft?
Yeah. Go ahead and refresh their memory.
So basically, we're going to be doing a live stream during the draft. You guys can come on through. We'll be talking about the picks, and hopefully the Ravens make a pick at number 27. But we'll be live for the whole time, 1 through 32. Come on through. It'll be a fun time.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys check us out for the draft. Let's see. Rush says the defensive philosophy will almost never change. I agree with that.
As it shouldn't.
Yeah. Cam Neal says, I don't think the culture and play like a Raven mentality would change because of the philosophy changing with the offense. That's just changing the way they play on offense. Keep the same swagger, however. Cool. Void says, if you are Eric DeCosta, do you take a coach who coddles players or a coach that cares about the health but not feelings?
To answer that, I look at a team like the Rams. Have you heard what the Rams are doing?
What are the Rams doing?
They have an open quarterback competition coming up between Goff and Wolford.
Interesting.
They don't care about feelings. They gave Goff the bag.
I was about to say, they must not care about contracts either.
Yeah. I mean, they can probably trade and maybe take some dead money. But that I look at that. I don't want a coach who coddles players, but I want a coach who is a good mixture, caring about the health, feelings, but also knowing, like, can pick their head up.
Right. Let's see. I just saw a question in here, but this thing moves so dang fast. It's like, appreciate you guys for, participating. And yeah, exactly.
Through.
Yeah, we love you guys, man. We appreciate you guys. Jackson Howard says, do you have faith that they can develop a wide receiver in the draft? No. Next question.
I think we have our future in number 13 and number 11, but we'll see what happens with that.
We'll see. I don't know.
Hashtag free Prochet, hashtag free Duvernay. Get them hashtags going.
Free those boys, man. We did just sign Deion Kane. We brought him on.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the whole Deion Kane signing?
I got asked to make a highlight video. I think it's just for camp, just to have a guy to throw to. Yeah. Maybe he'll impress. Maybe he can take Chris Moore's position, mainly special teams, maybe come in. But I'm not looking too much into it. I don't think it's going to be anything major.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he looked decent in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We'll see. We will see. Robbie Redifer, he says Gus Edwards has minor fumbling issues. It's not a big problem, but it is there. Fumbling issues from Gus Edwards. I've only seen him fumble not even a handful of times.
I think they're talking about JK. So JK can cough it up. He got 2 of them back this year. But if he lost those
Yeah.
fumbles, it would have been a whole different story. Against the Titans, I think there was one there. I think Bozeman jumped on it really quickly, and he wasn't down. But I'm not too worried about that. I think he'll be able to fix that up. It was his first year, so. And then Gus, I think he'll be fine too.
So we got a couple of the same question here. Jackson Howard and also Justin Henry. Shout out Justin Henry. He says, what position do you want us to draft first in the draft in the first? First round, I think, we've answered this. It kind of changes. It goes back and forth. Well, it was going back and forth before the season ended, but I think the general consensus now, at least for me and Alex, if I'm correct, let me know if I'm wrong, Alex.
Yeah.
But O-line
would
be the first priority. Yeah. And then after that, maybe DB.
Can never go wrong.
Yeah.
I think it depends who's here receiving wise, but O-line, you can't go wrong, I think, no matter what. And then DB, it's like, with the Ravens, you can never have enough defensive backs because look what we went through this year.
Right.
We had Anthony Averett go from a number 6, number 5 corner to a number 2.
I see the Rain Gang in here. I see Devon Johnson said pass rusher, so what we should get first.
That's
Peyton says the same thing. But another thing is, you guys saw what EDC said in the press conference. Teams are getting the ball out a lot quicker now. So that edge pressure is not as, it's not as prevalent. It's not as necessary as maybe it was before. Maybe we need to be generating more interior pressure, which is, in a guy like Justin Madubuike or, Derek Wolfe can get that for us coming, in the future. But pass rush first, I don't think that we go pass rush first. I think we go O-line. Yeah.
I think we had more passes deflected than sacks, and that was big with Calais Campbell batting it up.
Yeah.
Or batting it down, I should say. So that's another thing we can be looking at too, is maybe height on a guy. Because think about it, he's like, I don't know how tall he's big, but him getting his arms up makes him even taller. So that we look at somebody like that, a big defensive guy on the line who just get his hands up and try to disrupt the play.
Right. Why Jumper? He asked this question. He says, if you guys were the GM, what would be your top 5 moves this offseason? Let's see. Okay. I'll say definitely top 5 moves. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Definitely restructuring some contracts.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
This might hurt some people. I know he restructured, but I'm looking at Tavon Young. He's a Maryland boy, but he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. And you really can't go in there and rely on him being healthy for a full year.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that, but it's the truth. I'd be looking at him. Need to find Brandon Williams' replacement. He's not going to be here forever. You got to find somebody who can take his spot.
Okay.
I'm not saying take it over right now, but in the future, because you know what happens when he's out.
Right.
Try to sign a receiver.
Right, that's 4 with the receiver.
Yeah. Corey Davis, I'd say.
Yeah. And then, 5 is just, hey, man, have a kick-ass draft, literally. You know what I mean? Like, if we can do that, and then I guess you can say as like a honorable mention 6, hire somebody at passing game coordinator who's actually, going to be good with our offense. I would say those would be our top 5 pending 6 moves of the offseason. Let's see. Peyton says free Duvernay. Free Duvernay.
It's free Duvernay.
It's always free Duvernay. Always free Prochet. All that. So Sam Reed says kick Skura to the curb.
He's gone. He's a free agent. He's not coming back.
Yeah, definitely. He'll be somewhere else. Next season, let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. He says, who would you rather go for in free agency, Will Fuller or Corey Davis?
Will Fuller is just an older version of Marquise Brown and just more injury prone.
True. Yeah.
So probably Corey Davis.
And
real quick.
Meds.
Yeah. Real quick. Brought up a great point I saw on Twitter. We still have Eli Wolf, Jacob Breeland as our tight end 3. Would you draft a tight end, say 3rd, 4th, 5th round? We got more Andrews in the 3rd. Would you like to sign one? I mean, we can go through some tight end free agents. What would you do? Would you draft or sign? Because I can pull up the free agents that are available.
I don't know if I'm. I could see us drafting a tight end. That's the thing. I really could. I don't want us to spend any money on tight end. I feel like there's a lot of other places that we can spend money on. If we can draft somebody, I feel like we can develop tight ends. That's something that we can do. You know, if we can draft somebody, you know, in the later rounds, maybe mid to maybe later in the draft, like you said, like third round, like fourth round around there, I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. So I say draft.
Okay. I say that because there is a tight end that I think fits the Ravens perfectly.
Who's
he
that?
is a free agent. Let me just double check and make sure. He is Gerald Everett from the Los Angeles Rams. I think he would fit us perfectly. Think he'll want too much money, which sucks. But here are some free agents: Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Gronkowski, but he's probably going back to the Buccaneers. Jared Cook, Tyler Kroft, Trey Burton, Jordan Reed, Richard Rodgers, Jacob Hollister, Ricky Seals-Jones, Eric Tomlinson. Then Luke, our best buddy, Luke Wilson, who can't catch a ball. So those are some of the guys who are. I just feel like Ricard is not doing it as a third tight end. Like, he's not a tight end, and I hate how they try to say, "Oh, we can line up there." Nobody's scared of him running the tight end, running flats. He's perfect, but running those tight end routes, nobody's picking him up.
Right. Cam Neal says, true story. I played against Brandon Williams in college. That boy is big and strong. Emphasis on the strong, the K. Won't lie. We'll notice when he's gone. Yeah. We already noticed when he's gone. Like,
that's a story I would like to hear.
Cool.
I like that story.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. You was blocking Brandon Williams, Cam, in college?
What college? Let us know. Let us know the game.
Let us know.
See if we can find that. Pull that up. That'd be pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. Oh, and make sure, Cam, if you're still watching, make sure you subscribe. We'd love to have you around later on. But let's see. Void, he says, I know he's been putting this comment in here for a while, so I appreciate you for, keep putting this question in here, Void. But he says, do we keep Orlando Brown, Lamar Jackson, and Bradley Bozeman, or maybe not Lamar at all, and keep Bradley Bozeman, Orlando Brown, and Mark Andrews, and trade Lamar for first-round picks? So basically what you're saying, Void, is that we should just start over. Because if we get rid of Lamar, that's what we're doing. We're starting over. We're rebuilding. Yes, we'll have really good players, but we won't have that X factor. Lamar Jackson is an X factor. Therefore, we should not let him go. We should not let him go. So what do you think, Alex?
You can't let him go. I feel someone is going to go. I don't know who it is, but it's not going to be Lamar. It's not. Yeah. He's our QB for the future, and I have no problem with that.
Right.
I love 8. Something about the 8s in Baltimore. Cal Ripken with the Lamar with the Ravens, so hopefully he can have the type of legacy he had here. But Lamar is here to stay. There's no point trading him.
Yeah, definitely not. We can't get rid of Lamar. He definitely is our franchise quarterback, as I see Peyton says here in the chat. Devon Johnson says he thinks Orlando Brown and Lamar Jackson are the top priorities. Okay. Definitely Lamar is number one.
Get those cornerstones of the line locked up, then you can work on the interior. You can work us in on the line.
Yeah. So let's see here. He is our best player, Devon Johnson. He is our best player, period. That's literally all it is.
So can you imagine if we didn't have Lamar? What do you think our record would be?
It'd be really bad, bro. It'd be really bad. Because Lamar Jackson, he single-handedly wins us football games, know. And you really can't ask for more than that at all. Like Lamar Jackson, he does that, and we kind of run like a more high school style offense where like our best athlete is at quarterback, so we run just basically everything through him. And I think that's actually could be part of the problem. We're underutilizing his arm talent and literally overutilizing his legs.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot. I don't know why we're running the ball, why we still choose to run the ball with Lamar Jackson 10 to 14 times a game by design.
Yeah.
And expect him to, be able to keep this up over a long-term deal. It's like you guys are going to sign him to, a 5-year deal or something like that probably. And we're going to be running him 14 times a game? Like, no, that's not going to work out.
No.
It's not going to work out. So
you got to protect your investment.
Exactly. You got to protect your investment. You have to put things around your investment in order for it to succeed. You know what I mean?
It's like you're not going to buy a nice car and put some trash tires on it. What's the point of that?
Right.
Or get a big house and have like the worst type of insulation. Like, come on. No. Got to build. Come on. Get the whole package so we can go up to KC and beat their asses. But that's still, we're far from that. But
yeah, exactly. So, Jonathan Washington Jr., he brings up something that we talked about a little bit earlier that you said. He says, do you think Doug Peterson would accept a passing game coordinator job here? And if so, would you want him? Our guy Alex, he talked about that a little bit earlier. Just touch on that real quick for the ones who missed it.
I would like to see it. I mean, he did some things in Philly. He drew up some plays. Would he take it? That's the biggest question, I'd say. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he would. I think he wants an offensive coordinator job. But it's like we were talking about with the QB coach from, I think, Kafka from the Chiefs. You're getting the assistant head coach, you're getting the wide receiver, and you're getting the pass game coordinator. That right there could be the offensive. That's kind of like the offense coordinator, I'd say, because you have such a big role with the offense, and then you're the assistant head coach. Yeah. So if he does, it would be like a Kubiak, a one and done, because I think your offense will be that good. He'll be picked up as the coach the next year. Oh gosh, yeah. I got a little too passionate, but yeah, I think it would be like a Kubiak. I think our offense would be that good. Remember 2014, Kubiak came in, and our offense was just high flying. Just Flacco looked like a different player, and the Broncos scooped him up. He won a Super Bowl.
Kubiak, I don't know about Kubiak, man. He's always bothered me ever since he lost us that game after icing our kicker, and then we missed the field goal and we lost to them. I can't remember what year that was, but that was years ago, probably like 2010 maybe. I don't know. But I've always had a bad taste in my mouth about Gary Kubiak ever since then.
He was retired now. He's gone. So
yeah. But we have a couple of other people, and you guys are just coming full effect in the chat room right now. We're gonna, keep going for a couple minutes with questions. This is gonna be like our official question segments. If you have any, if you have any other questions that you want to ask about like any and everything, it can be about football. It doesn't have to be about football. It can be about anything. If you want to get to know us a little bit more, just ask us questions. We're going to answer them here on the live. But we have a couple other points as well that we have. Make sure you like and subscribe the video as well in our channel too, guys. We greatly appreciate that. It helps us out a ton. But we have a couple other, people in here saying some things. Let's see. Sam Rees says, I absolutely hate, emphasis on the hate the design QB power run plays. The read options and running on pass plays is fine, but can anyone remember a time this year where the QB power wasn't stopped for a loss?
Trace McSorley, he did it on 4th and 4, and it worked for him. They weren't expecting that, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because Gus was his lead. I think it worked a few times, but it didn't pop off or he would get blown up, so that's a good point. It didn't work more times. So then it worked,
Right. So, the QB power is so obvious. I feel like teams literally study because it's a situational play, right?
Yeah.
It's a play that we run on 4th and 1, 4th and 2, maybe even sometimes 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, And teams, I feel like in their study room, in their film sessions, they kind of take the our offensive formation, how we line up when we're about to run that play, and they say, okay, there's certain tells on the field, like, okay, when they do this, when they line up like that. And Lamar, Lamar's about to take that ball and he's about to run it, especially in these situations. So, I would love to see, hey, listen, play off of that. Make people pay for the fact that, like, hey, we have Lamar Jackson who can get this QB power and can either get 2 yards to pick up the first down, or if you're not careful enough, he can get you 30 yards and get a touchdown, depending on where we are on the field. And use that against teams. More play action and stuff like that. Hit teams over the top. And our guy, Cam Neal, he said it before. He said, that's it, son. We're overusing his legs, overlooking his arm, overlooking and undervaluing his arm. So we really just got to let him loose. That was another thing about Max Kellerman, his whole take that bothered me. He said that Justin Herbert, like, he did all that and, like, they still had handcuffs on him. They weren't really letting him go all the way. But it's like, look at what's going on in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. You really think they're letting him all the way loose? No.
Right.
So,
come on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to scroll through here and see what other questions we have from you guys. Esco City G says, who do you see as a top prospect for the draft this year? Esco, Alex and I, we want to give you a more accurate answer on that. We haven't really taken our deep dive into all the players in the draft just yet. But when we do, you can expect a video to be coming out from us saying who we like, the best in the upcoming draft.
We'll probably dedicate a whole podcast to it, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be, probably a week or two before the draft, I think, because we'll see the Senior Bowl, all of that. We'll hear the final report. So we probably around then we will.
Yeah. So Jackson Howard says, is that a Mets jersey you got on?
It's an old Pedro Martinez. It's the black one. That's how you know how old it is. But yeah, Pedro Martinez. I just like black jerseys in like any team. Minus the Steelers, but they're clean. Like the orange and the blue, I love it. It's fire.
Terry Mitchell says, one thing that really blows me that we can make a huge investment into the defense, but when it comes to the offense, we're scary. And once we picked up Dez, we barely used him. You're right. We barely used a lot of our receivers, Terry. So
yeah,
good point. We always make investments to defense. That goes back to the culture of this organization, right? We always put money into the defense. We always want to make sure our defense is stout. But our offense has always kind of gone through an identity crisis, And now that we kind of found our identity, we don't want to get stuck in it. We want to progress that identity. So hopefully getting in that new passing game coordinator, that, assistant head coach, all those other jobs can improve that. Maybe we'll bring in a number one receiver. And of course, hopefully Lamar will improve next year just as an overall quarterback.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Right. So let's see what other questions we have in here. Adit Mahmood says, should the first free agency move to be assign a guy like Alex Mack? I feel that a center would increase our offensive efficiency by at least 30%. This is a fabulous point, Adit. Yes. Interior O-line is a huge need. We talked about Lamar's jitters earlier. The jitters come from when the offensive line is in his lap within the first second or two of him snapping the football, So interior O-line, a.k.a. center, a.k.a. right guard, left guard. We're definitely going to need, some reinforcements at those positions in order to, increase our efficiency. So I agree with that by Adit. You agree with that?
I would like to look at him or the center from the Patriots. I think it's
okay.
David
Yeah,
Andrews.
you were telling me about him. David Andrews,
yeah. But I don't think if we do not sign a center, look for us to draft one. Maybe some I wouldn't say first round like a Creed Humphrey, but maybe like a mid round. Go compete with Tristan Colon-Castillo and see who wins it out. Because I think he's earned a right to at least get some type of competition.
TCC.
TCC. And the PRP loves some TCC. Let's leave it at that.
Absolutely. Let's see. All right, what else do we have here? Do we trade for Rodney Hudson?
I don't think so. I don't think we'll be trading. Or if we do, it'll be like a fifth round, like how we got Calais Campbell for a fifth round pick. It won't be. Yeah. I know a question from earlier. It's non-Ravens. Our guy Boz asked us how we feel about the whole Ben Roethlisberger restructuring going on.
Right. Yeah, Tanja Bowman. That? Oh, what'd you say?
Boz asked about the whole Ben Roethlisberger and the restructuring.
Big Ben. Did he put it in the chat just now?
Yeah, it was a while back. It was a while back.
Okay. It was a while back. Okay. All right. What was he saying again about Big Ben?
Did you hear so he's going to restructure this year.
Oh, makes sense. It makes sense. If he wants to keep playing for the Steelers, it's like, okay, come on. You got to restructure for us.
You have to.
Right. We're trying to get you some help here. So restructure this deal. We can bring in some guys. But Tanja Bowman brought up a good point. She says Lamar did not get better passing outside the numbers. I think that's what she was referring to, answering somebody else in the chat. She said Lamar did not get better, but look at all that fell apart around him, though. O-line bad snaps, coaching defenders literally in his lap while he's trying to improve sure didn't help. So, yeah, coaching and the lack of the O-line, the inconsistency of the O-line just all around where it comes, whether it be the snaps, the pass protection, all of that stuff really did break down on him. Not to mention the beast of a tight end, the best blocking tight end in the NFL that our guy Alex met yesterday, Nick Boyle, went down right before, we started going on our little run. So a lot of things definitely did go bad for Lamar. And that's not to say that, things didn't go bad for any other quarterback. But for Lamar Jackson himself, in terms of like the passing game, he didn't get all the help that he needed this year in order to take that step forward. We know that. But yeah, what do you think about that?
Got to agree with you 100%. Like I can't add on because you took the words out of my mouth. So it's 11 on 11 for a reason, And when you're playing 10 versus 11 because a guy can't do his job, obviously you're not going to win. So,
let's see. What other questions we got from you guys? You guys are having some great conversations in here too. Even just talking amongst yourselves.
We got some Deshaun Watson news to talk about after this too, so that's coming up.
We do. Actually, let's go ahead and just talk about that.
Hey,
Deshaun
real quick,
Watson.
he's getting traded. Put in the trade request.
Yeah.
Drop which team you think he's going to go to, because this is going to get good. This is going to get really good, because on Twitter there is a Photoshop of him in every team's jersey. I don't care who your quarterback is. They have him in your jersey. Where do you think he's going to?
Oh, man. Honestly, I would say either the Dolphins. I feel like the Dolphins can make a run for him and, really try to make a push for the AFC East. And not only the AFC East, but the AFC. Because they also have those picks, too. And then I also think that maybe the 49ers. I think San Francisco can make a run at him, honestly. Okay. I know they're not like, completely sold on Garoppolo, of course, Mullins and those boys. They are looking for their guy again, I think. I would say a team like the Colts or something like that, but I've heard that they're actually looking for like a veteran QB to bring in and kind of take over. Stafford, maybe. But I heard Stafford might be going to Washington. That may be another possibility as well.
I saw Watson to Washington. I think if Watson goes to Washington, they're a contender. I mean, I know they made but they're challenging for the 3-2-1 lead. But I think the Jets. I think the Jets. They got the draft capital. They got the picks from the Jamal Adams trade. They also got this head coach by the name of Robert Saleh. And guess who Deshaun Watson wanted in Houston as his coach? Robert Saleh. I think they're going to make a push for him. I agree with the Niners and the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins have the best trade capital because they have back-to-back picks, but also they could trade Tua, which would help them. I think it'll go Dolphins 1, Jets 2, Niners 3. I think that's the most realistic. Because I don't know what the Niners would do with Jimmy Garoppolo because he has on that contract.
The Jets, though. The Jets and Sam Darnold, are they ready to move off of Sam Darnold already? Are they over him or what?
It's Deshaun Watson. I don't think you can say no to it. I think Darnold will go in the trade as well because he still has a fifth-year option, so they had their quarterback for 2 years. Maybe they can try to find somebody else or see if the best out of him with a new coach, David Culley. Never know. And Josh McCown on their staff too. Yeah. There's no wrong answer, to be honest, unless you're saying like the Chiefs or the Packers. Those are the wrong answers. But exactly. I mean, the Panthers are a shout too. I mean, can you imagine Deshaun, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Christian McCaffrey? Yeah, that'd be fun to watch.
Now, let's talk about the Texans for a second. The Texans, they're at the bottom of the barrel right now, obviously. But what is it about that organization that they just cannot get right? I don't understand it. I don't understand like how you can go out and you can piss off DeAndre Hopkins, get rid of him. And then after that, you piss off Deshaun Watson to the point where he wants to leave. And then you don't even have a head coach until today. You bring in David Culley. His most recent job was the passing game coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, who had the dead last ranked passing attack. I just don't see what the vision is right now. I would assume that every organization wants to win a Super Bowl. It seems like this team just simply does not. They're not making the moves year to year in order to do that. They messed up by getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins in the first place. I'm sorry if I'm going on a little bit of a rant about the Texans right now.
Keep it going.
But it's just like, bro, you guys had it. You guys had it in the palm of your hand. You had Deshaun Watson. You had DeAndre Hopkins. All you had to do was just get a couple more pieces, and then boom, you're contenders for the title. You are. Simple as that. You know what I mean? So
they were.
I just don't know how. They always say a fish rots from the head down. So I don't know if it's somebody at the very, very top, of the food chain, maybe the owner, GM, who just does not competent enough. What do you think about the Texans?
It started with Bill O'Brien. The trades, the DeAndre Hopkins trade is what started it. Honestly, that's what started it. I believe their vice president is like the guys who they're calling for his head now too. I don't know what his name is, but I've seen him on Twitter a lot. He's next. But I think what started, like you said, was the Hopkins trade. You trade away a top 3 wide receiver in the league. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's 1, 2, or 3, but he's top 3 for a second rounder and David Johnson. Then you wonder why your franchise quarterback gets mad because you just traded away a receiver's best friend. Can you imagine what Patrick Mahomes would do if they traded away Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce for nothing?
For nothing.
If the Packers traded away Devontae Adams for nothing, they wouldn't want to be there either. That's where it started. And where it's ending now is him going to another team.
Yeah. And, I really do hope all the best for Deshaun Watson. I really do want to see him succeed. I really just started watching him play when, he was at Clemson making that title run. But yeah, he's a phenomenal player, and I really do hope he goes to a team where he can actually see some success. Mark Lopez says that he lives in Texas. So shout out to you for watching all the way from Texas. He says, I live in Texas. Yeah, absolutely. He says he sees some Texans fans burning Deshaun Watson's jersey. I don't think that's cool, man. That's not cool. That man gave you everything that he had. You know what I mean? We saw what he did
and then
last year. Exactly.
He got kicked in the eye and threw a touchdown in the same play.
Exactly.
How?
Or against the Bills in the playoffs when he gets clobbered by 2 guys like from both sides, rolls out and still makes a play. You know what I mean? Like, it's just he's like I said, phenomenal player. I don't think anybody should be burning his jersey. Even the players on the Texans understood. Like, hey, look, man, if you want to go somewhere else and you want to make the most out of your career and your opportunities in life and stuff like that, then yeah, go ahead. We're not going to be mad at you. We get it. This team sucks. So obviously there's something very, very wrong going on.
We both got pretty passionate over a team that we don't support, but that's just kind of how we feel. Like, I don't want to see a good player's career get wasted like that. Kind of like a Bradley Beal in Washington right now. I mean, it's sucks. But real quick, you know whose jersey you should burn if you own it? Real quick, I gotta talk about this. Chad Wheeler.
Yeah.
If you have his jersey, burn it, please. If you don't know, he was arrested for throwing his girlfriend on the bed and strangling her. So that is a piece of shit. Just want to let you know that. That's if you haven't heard, now you know. There's no room for that, honestly. There's no room for that. And he's been released from the Seahawks. He said he's never playing again. Bro, you were never going to get signed again.
Yeah. Like anywhere.
Yeah, so it's graphic. You saw the pictures. It's graphic. So I just want to.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's disgusting in every facet, every way, shape, or form. Of course, he'll never play another down of football anywhere unless he's in prison on the chain gang football team or whatever, or anything like that.
Playing the longest yard.
The longest yard, exactly. Playing with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Nelly and those boys. But
Nelly was kind of good for running back. I'm not gonna lie.
He was kind of good. It was kind of good. But it just, I don't know, man. It's just, you can't. I don't even know what to say about it, because it's just like, why would you even put yourself in that situation? Why would you want to hurt somebody who, counted on you, who really trusted you, who really, loved you and everything like that? It doesn't make any sense to me. But I know that they were saying that, he has some mental health issues and things like that.
And he wasn't taking his medicine.
But it's like, come on, man. We can't make excuses. We can't make excuses,
And I didn't bring up what he allegedly said because, I don't know if it's true or not. But if that is true, what he said, that's even worse. That just takes the cake. So for the biggest piece of shit award, he wins it for 2021, and we're only a month into it. So congratulations.
Absolutely. Peyton says she has a question. What's your opinion on Chad Wheeler in the comparison to Ray Rice? Man.
Ray Rice was made an example out of by the NFL, I think, compared to what we've seen from some people. Kareem Hunt, Greg Hardy, and they were able to play again. I think that's the only reason why he never got it, because he was the first one to really do it and get caught on camera.
Right.
But yeah, both of them. All of them. You don't do that. That's
at all.
I'm not gonna say my true feelings because I don't want to get this to get taken off of YouTube. But I have some strong feelings for guys who hit girls, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we both do for sure, and it's not cool at all. Never has been, never will be. So yeah, just no. But anyway, NFL Production says, tell me. NFL Production says, tell me why I saw this at 7:55. then still missed it. It's all
You're
good,
part
man.
of the
It's all
Purple
good,
Pain
man.
gang now. That's the pain right
Yeah.
there.
You can always watch it back. We had some really, really good conversation on tonight's episode of the Purple Rain podcast. I think we're going to leave it there, guys. I think we're going to go
Any
ahead
final
and wrap
questions?
for the night. Unless you guys have any more final questions or anything like that, we'll go ahead and get out of you guys' hair for the night.
And then if you have any questions for next episode, Monday.
Yeah,
Because next week's a big week.
it is.
Next week is
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl
week.
week.
Mhm.
Thursday, we have that's going to be a fun episode. We're going to be talking all things Super Bowl. I'm ready for it.
Absolutely, we will. We will indeed. Just one more question from Y Jumper. A couple other questions actually. Y Jumper says, another question: do you feel like JJ Watt will go to Pittsburgh to play with his bros? That'd be pretty dope.
Do you think they'll have the money,
Yeah,
the cap space? You think so?
I mean, but JJ Watt's a vet. I don't. You see him commanding that much money to play on a team that has his brothers on it.
So are you okay? So you say he'll take a pay cut
Yeah,
to
I
go
think
play
he
with his
could take a
brothers?
pay cut.
You think so?
Yeah, he's a vet. You know what I mean? I don't think he's looking for that big deal anymore. That big contract,
Yeah.
is he?
He shouldn't. I don't think
Yeah.
he should.
Right.
Okay.
Asmodia says, what kind of dog am I hearing? Peyton asked the same thing. I actually have a Maltese mixed with a poodle, very small dog. His name is actually Alex.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his name is Alex. He's about 12 years old, so he's an older gentleman. But yeah, that's my dog.
Okay.
If you guys ever hear him. Yeah, Asmodia says, I love dogs. I love dogs too, man. Dogs are great. But
real quick before we go, I had that clip I wanted to show for all my Madden players out there. Real quick, the coolest play happened to me this week. Not cool.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, he's gonna pull up. This will be like the last thing we're gonna show. So I was playing some mud squads with my guy Buzz, and we were down. I gotta this stuff. It just goes to show you why you don't go for the extra points when you're already winning in a game. Just take the knee. All right. That's all you got to do. You'll see the circumstance, but it was
the pain, anguish. All right, let me show you guys this. I'm gonna start posting some Madden clips too, because a lot of crazy stuff be happening to me in Madden, man. I don't know.
There's a lot of BS. All right, you see the time.
Yeah.
We are the Rams. We have the Rams uniforms on. So that's my guy Boz's offense. We're down 20-17. 14 seconds left. No timeouts. Let me just let the clip play.
Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and let this play out here.
Seconds to go in the game at the 2-yard line.
All right, it froze for me.
Oh, it froze?
Yeah.
Oh no. All right, let's run it back. See if we can get this right this time. You ready? All right, let's go.
Yep.
Seconds to go in the game.
Is it still froze?
All right, we're good.
Okay.
They'll look to throw.
So he's throwing it, gets batted up. Carlos Dunlap picks it off. My guy threw it on his controller. I'm like, all right, I gotta catch this dude. So that's me with Tyler Lockett just trying to catch him.
Oh man.
So there's 1 second left now. I'm like, bro, we just lost. We were on a winning streak.
Bro.
And this is me on defense. Yeah.
Oh, she's buffering. There we go.
So they had a Browns theme team, and this kind of took a personal. Like, we got to beat these guys. This guy tries to run out at Mayfield.
Baker.
Yeah, I read it, picked it up with Steve Atwater, housed it. I was like, why do you go for the touchdown in that situation? Like, just take the knee.
Oh man.
But that was kind of the coolest things happened to me in Madden recently, so I would take it.
Shout out to you and Boz on that one.
Yeah, that was some fun stuff. Yeah,
man, I would love to play against you in Madden, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey man, I play MUT a lot, but we definitely gotta get that on stream. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Or like some MUT squad. You play Ultimate Team?
I don't play Ultimate Team.
Okay.
But I would be down to get in there, like, to try it. But
you can run head coach. I mean, because then we have a good offense and defense. You can get
call
your route
plays.
running.
I call the plays.
You get to call the timeouts, get the penalties, but you can run routes, play defense. But
Okay, cool. Let's see. Cam Neal asked if we are in current or next gen. I'm on current gen. I still have a PlayStation 4. So,
I'm current.
But you can add me on PlayStation. You guys can add me. I'm gonna put my name in the chat. So that is me.
I'll put mine too.
It's gonna be Trid-TRID-.
Mine's
Follow me, well not follow me, but friend me. Yeah, friend me on PlayStation. Friend Simply AS10 on PlayStation as well. You know, we play the Madden. We got the Call of Duty, the Warzone. You know, whatever y'all need.
We still gotta get a dub. We still gotta run Rebirth.
We still gotta get a dub. We gotta get a dub for sure. Shoot, I mean, depending on what you're doing after this, we could run one after this. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it off air.
All right, I'm with that.
But go ahead and give us your closing remarks, bro.
Oh, all right. Well, I see a comment from Unknown Goat. He said your B-Day is Monday, mine is Wednesday. Actually, mine is next Wednesday, February 3rd. So we share a birthday. What's up? Fun fact, the Ravens won the Super Bowl on my birthday in 2012. Best gift ever. Yeah. You can't go. Yeah. Closing remarks. Hope everybody's out there staying safe, staying healthy. If you're back in school like me, best of luck. It is pain. It is anguish. It is agony. I hate these Zoom classes. But we'll get through it. And think about it. We got one more football game left. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Because after that, no football for a couple of months. But you know the Purple Rain podcast is here to stay. Merch on the way, hopefully. And as always, follow my guy on Instagram and Twitter at Sutton Def. Easy as hell. Just type it in. You can find me, Twitter on @AlexSilverman_. Instagram simply as10.prod. And as always, stay positive. Test negative.
We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.